Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a beautiful day for the Pirate Broadcast, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Love that you're here. If you're watching this in the future, appreciate you and all the gratitude in the world for you being here. Today we got Matt on the phone and on the call and on the Pirate Broadcast. We're going to be talking about a little bit about promotions and motivation, inspiration, kind of a little bit of all things pirate. So Matt, welcome to the party. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now you're officially a pirate, so we can have a conversation. So thank you so much, and I appreciate the fact that we're talking about, we're wrapping up 2020, which everybody's thinking, okay, this is going to be great. However, things are still, going to evolve and, kind of change around things, how we're dealing with everything. Yeah. And you're in a business that is very supportive of encouraging people. People come to you and talk about promotional material. And so walk us through what your business entails and who you focus on and how you help.
That's a great way to put it. I love it. The company is Doubletake Promotional Marketing, and we do promotional products and branded merchandise. So in a nutshell, we put logos on things. But I think one of my favorite things about what we do is seeing our clients smile when they see their brand on something, so we are, in a way, just like spreading that joy and spreading the positivity, through branded, marketing.
Yeah.
So, we work mainly with colleges and universities, professional services and financial firms, and advertising and marketing agencies. So
I was talking to another pirate. He's been on before on the show. He runs Eagles and Arrows. It's a golf line, golf clubs, golf gloves, things like that. And he's actually got some really cool leather goods that he was starting to brand. So I should probably connect you guys and introduce you, because he was looking. He's not involved in the promotional side, but he really loves the quality content and the pieces and the gear, and it would be a good combination because a lot of people in golf, it's nice to be able to send somebody something really special that has your brand on it and everything that goes along with it. And I know that some of my clients in the marketing world, they Christmas gifts or holiday gifts or thank you for purchasing, doing business with us. Shirts. I actually have shirts. If you didn't know this, we have coffee mugs, the Pirate Broadcast coffee mugs, and a few other things on the website. So it's part of business, and it's really exciting. So walk us through you mentioned before that your family's in it and you've been involved in the industry for a while, or how long have you been involved in it? Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm fourth generation in my family in the industry.
Wow.
My great-grandfather, Paul, and my grandfather, Maynard, founded the Paul May Company in 1935. It was a factory in New York. They were manufacturing vinyl, office supplies, desk folders, card cases, wallets, things like that, all custom imprinted for the promotional products industry. And my dad ran the company for 30 plus years. And just kind of by happenstance, I wound up working for my dad, worked for him for about a year. And then I kind of jumped the fence to the distribution side of the industry. So left the manufacturing side. And I started my own company in 2010, doing what I do now. So we work directly with clients. If I had been in business at the same time as my dad and my family, I would have been his customer. So that would have been an interesting dynamic to our relationship.
Very cool. Very cool. I have friends in the industry, and I've been more on the receiving side of it, as far as client side work, but being in larger organizations where, like I have a closet full of things that I've received, branded shirts and T-shirts and jackets and things like that. I mean, it's all around us. However, it's one of those industries that unless you're really in the industry, you really don't know about the industry.
Yeah, it's it's not something you say, I want to do that when I grow up.
Yeah.
So being in the family line is kind of one of the only ways, I guess, to fall into it. But here we are. I love it. I love what I do. And it's funny you mentioned a closet full of, I hear that my junk drawer is filled with that kind of stuff. And that's like those little like anecdotes or whatever are inspiration for me and actually drive me to do it well, to be better than that. We don't want to do stuff for our clients that's going to wind up in the junk drawer, wind up, stashed in the back of the closet. And then 10 years later, you find it. We want to do something that's going to be useful at the end of the day for our clients. Our tagline at Doubletake is make them look twice. And that's a two-pronged tagline. It's a mission that every project we work on for a client is going to make their recipients look twice.
Well, and it's really, how can I as a business owner, how can I personalize a gift for my clients that will allow them to have it on hand and remember and remind them that I'm here and I'm here to help them, and I think that's really what it's, that's part of the equation. It's part of the exercise of how do you make it special? How do you surprise, wow people? Yeah,
there always has to be strategy behind it.
Yeah.
We really focus with our clients on brand consistency and understanding their target market and how best to reach them. And at the end of the day, we have millions of different products at our disposal, but we don't really care which one our clients use as long as it's the right one. And so it's our job to figure out what the right one is. And that's the process that we take.
So do you have some examples of some unique or special offers that companies have purchased for their gifts, for their assortment of promotional materials?
Since, we're in the throes of holiday gift season now, we do a lot of projects for clients where they do gifts to show appreciation to their clients or to show appreciation to their staff. And I'd say just a recent one that we had a really good experience with. We had a client who did branded Yeti tumblers.
Yeah.
And so we developed, this year has added a new wrinkle. Most people have their clients' mailing address. If it's a B2B type business, they have their client's office address. But now with everybody working from home, we're running into a lot of our clients are saying, well, where do we even send this stuff? So we're developing a lot of web stores for our clients where they share out a link that's kind of like a landing page that we brand with their branding. And it has, if they're providing a choice of gifts, or even if it just has the gift that they're offering, but it also, most importantly, it has a way for their recipient to input their preferred mailing address. And then we get a feed of that on the back end, and we can do all the distribution. So we had one client that after sharing that web store out with his recipients, 2 people reached out to him saying, oh, this is awesome. Can we steal this idea and do the same thing? So it generated 2 referral opportunities for us. And that was because of the web store concept and the Yeti gift option. I think wowed the recipients for that.
Don't you find that interesting that, ideas like that, innovation, because a lot of times, challenging moments create, a little bit of creativity, and by being creative in how to deliver and how to, have your recipients access that is really a simple process. And I love the idea that all of a sudden you get more referrals from it just because of the creativity that went into that. So hats off to you. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So I guess, talking about, 2020 and the chaos that's ensuing on all of us these days, is are promotions up or down, or where's the market going for you? I mean, overall, what's the status right now?
Yeah, it's been a turbulent year for all of us, right? But we're definitely no different. And I think we might even be an extreme example. March, April, May, when COVID first hit, those 3 months were completely barren. There wasn't a lot of, there were, most of our clients were just in triage mode, and there wasn't a lot going on at all.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we found ourselves in a unique position with a lot of our overseas manufacturers kind of readjusted their manufacturing to make masks and other PPE, personal protective equipment. And at the time, there was this global shortage of masks and everything. So, at the time, there wasn't much else going on. We were doing a lot of that, and I made the decision at the time to sell masks for no profit, just to try to facilitate the orders to get them to where they needed. For hospitals, for not-for-profit organizations that had healthcare workers or people in with with highly susceptible populations. So we facilitated production of thousands upon thousands of masks, and that was keeping me busy at the time. There wasn't much else to do, but
contributing to the cause, huh?
Right. And then there wasn't much profitable work going on. But then after that period, really over the summer, we got very busy doing PPE kits, branded PPE kits, for a lot of our colleges and university clients, as they were preparing to reopen their campuses. They, in many cases, colleges needed, they were mandated by state governments to provide a plan for how they were going to safely reopen. And those plans needed to include how they were going to adequately distribute PPE to their students and their staff on campus. So we became, I think the word essential is overused these days, but we became an important component for those clients in just, planning and figuring out how they were going to operate. So I did a lot of branded PPE kits over the summer, and then from there, the fall and this early part of the winter has really been focused on appreciation gifts, which is a pretty typical fourth quarter for us, and business has really been strong over the last 5-6 months since the initial craziness with the pandemic. So it's been lowest of the lows and highest of the highs for us over the course of the year. It's crazy.
It's amazing. I talked to so many people that have had that similar experience. When it first hit, everybody was just kind of like in shock. It's like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? It's like, where's my clients? Where's my business is closing? And then the next thing they just like most entrepreneurs, they think about how, the whole point of being an entrepreneur is thinking about how I can navigate in and around the obstacles, the challenges, the day-to-day, and that's one of the things that I really admire about a lot of the people that I've talked to on the Pirate broadcast is they have figured out alternative ways of dealing with their situation and their circumstance, and either adjusting their business, modifying their business, changing their business, completely starting a new business. All of these activities are something that we can all think about and contribute to, either helping others or being able to, offer advice or support, or in some cases, gifts, and say, hey, thank you for being you, and maybe a branded mask. That sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah. And we celebrated 10 years in business in April, and it was when I celebrated 5 years in business, I rented out a private suite at a minor league baseball game. The team was a client of ours. I had this arrangement where I threw out the first pitch at the game, and I did a whole 50-50 raffle. People had to guess my pitch speed, and we had it on a radar gun. And the winning guess got some cash, and the rest got donated to charity.
Wow.
I was trying to do something creative and fun like that for 10 years, but best laid plans. So we decided to still do something fun, unique, something to really celebrate and not just hunker down and kind of cower amongst the circumstances. We did a Zoom party. Those are kind of commonplace now, but in April, that was like a revolutionary thing, having like a Zoom happy hour. And then we did a similar to the web store that I was explaining before. We did a gift store like that for a lot of our clients, giving them a choice of some kind of fun pick me up, like work from home, or like just fun packages of promotional items that can kind of get them through the working from home slog. The reason I bring that up is because for us, it was a decision to kind of just still celebrate even amidst an adverse circumstance. And we got a lot of really positive feedback that was really rewarding, just from clients of ours saying that they really appreciated the positive vibe they were excited to kind of share in the celebration with us, and kind of take their mind off some of the more serious things going on. So it was, I'm really just looking back now on what we did in April. I'm really happy that we did that, because I think it just helped kind of focus our mindset on the positives at the time.
Yeah. Well, and everybody has an option to look at both sides of the equation. And I always say, hey, if you can actually think about what is possible rather than, all of the problems you have, let's look at the opportunities, not the problems, turn it around. And it's two sides of the same perspective for, a lot of people. And we have to think about what it is we can do with where we are right now. And I think that there's probably, a lot of people thinking about gifts in a different way. They're thinking, how can I contribute back? How can I move it forward? How can I appreciate all of the clients that have stuck around and everything else? So have the gifts changed in fourth quarter this year? I mean, as far as the actual gifts themselves, or the way that people are approaching gifts right now in your business?
It hasn't changed so much. I'd say, the biggest change is just the logistics of how to get it to the people, so we talked about that a little bit already. But what we're finding a lot of is, we, in a lot of the gift projects that we do, the product is accompanied with a greeting card. And whereas in years past, it may just be sort of a generic, like, happy holidays, we appreciate working with you kind of message. We're seeing some really heartfelt messages from people this year that are I don't know, it's really nice to see, because it's all, again, it's, at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. So even us just, kind of facilitating these projects and seeing, just in the act of printing the cards, so we're seeing the messages that are being sent. It's really, it's awesome for us to just see the meaningful relationships that our clients have with their clients, that they're sending these gifts to. It's just, it's really nice to see that there's the human element of all of this.
Well, there's a lot of compassion around right now. And I think people understand that, hey, this is a circumstance we're all working through. Nobody's exempt from this. Nobody's, saying, hey, this doesn't affect me.
Right.
It affects everyone. And I think that, one thing that I really love to present in the pirate community is the idea that, hey, let's help each other, and let's make sure that we support each other. Mental health is an issue, and, it's a huge challenge with a lot of people right now. People are out of work, or they're stressed about work, or they're stressed about their family getting, exposed or sick, or, they're working in healthcare and they're, it's like they're always, on overload and stressed out. So think about how you can actually think through this process, support each other, and, with your opportunity, maybe send out something to your clients or your community, and or start some, fundraisers, or, something along those lines. I know Karen Joseph here in Arizona, she goes around and collects shoes and delivers them to people. So she's an awesome individual that does that. And I know so many people that do that, and the list goes on. And it's just really satisfying to hear these stories, rather than, the news that are claiming that the sky is falling and we're all the world is going to end here anytime. That's like, I don't want to listen to that. Let's listen to something a little more positive. So get your promotions today from Matt. So. Unbridled plug,
Right.
So what about the family side? Everybody's staying safe and healthy and everything. And you're now in Chicago, so it's the temperature's dripping a little bit. So
yeah,
it's not as warm, but no snow. You don't have snow yet?
Not yet. We had a couple times in October, but nothing really since.
I know I was a little nervous for you guys when it started snowing in Chicago.
I played golf one of those days in October that it was snowing. It was not in the forecast. But family's good. I'm married. I have 2 kids, a 4-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter. And it's and that's, it's been a challenging year trying to balance childcare and working from home, and my wife working from home, and still being good parents and good workers when we're doing what we're doing. But we've definitely spent a lot more time together, and that's a silver lining to all this, a big silver lining.
Yeah, it is a big silver lining. There's so many times where I think when I was, in my career and raising kids and things like that, and I was on the road more than I was home half the time, and it was looking back and you're thinking, wow, it's so different today. Now you get on a Zoom session with a call or a colleague, and there's kids in the background, or the dogs are barking, or something's going on. It's like, never mind, they're doing the yard work outside. Hopefully you can hear it. It's all good. This is what we're doing, and we're all doing it together.
It's real life.
It's life. So how do you see, I mean, next year, I would like to imagine that there's some things that are going to be improving as far as access and activities. How do you see your business evolving and growing in 2021, 2022?
I gotta say, we're better poised for growth now than at any point in the past. I hired a new employee on March 9th. That was her first day. And she was, we have a remote team. So Bethany was in from Rhode Island, where she lives, here in Chicago that week. And that was the week that, like, every day some other major event was getting canceled. And the two of us were just like, let's just get through this week and see what happens. And it was not the ideal time, I guess, to bring on a new member of the team. But, I stuck with the plan. And, if it was a smart decision on, January 3rd or whatever, then it was a smart decision on March 9th. It was a smart decision on April, whatever. I mean, it was, she's awesome. And the infusion that she has brought to our team has just been so great. And we as a team have gotten so much stronger over the last several months, and have just evolved our capabilities and really strengthened our capabilities in a lot of ways. And I'm really excited heading into next year. We've got some interesting new initiatives that we're working on. We had, I've mentioned that we work with higher ed a lot. So we developed kind of a little marketing program or marketing strategy for our own company. We created a mock university, Doubletake University, with the mascot, the Doubletake Defenders, because we're the defenders of your brand standards. And that's just, a way of us, that we've kind of built some things off of that to connect with our higher ed vertical. And so we're going to be employing that quite a bit more into 2021. And then an offshoot of that was, as a result of the pandemic, we created a website, doubletakedefenders.com, which is not higher ed related. It's defending against germs, and it's a build your own PPE kit. You can go right on that website and create your own custom branded PPE kit. So it's great for companies that are returning to the office, and also great for schools, colleges, universities. Great for for anyone who is looking for branded PPE of any kind. So that's just something, I'm not trying to like shamelessly plug. It's just an exciting thing that is an adaptation and something totally new for our business that we're really
happy to promote
launching
things. So is that website up now? Is that something that's available right now? Or
it is. Yeah, we've been using it already. So
what's the website, Matt?
It's doubletakedefenders.com.
Doubletakedefenders.com. Mm-hmm. So our wonderful producer of the show, Tracy, she'll put that in the notes and it'll be available later on. Hey, I want to take a minute here and just shout out to some of the individuals that are on the program. KD joined us from Sugar Land, Texas, southwest of Houston. I know exactly where Sugar Land, Texas is. I used to broadcast the Sugar Land Skeeters, the baseball team down there, and on AM radio. So I know the area. I've been there many times. Warren and Mark and a few friends over there, and Hyatt are here. Patrick's in the house. Thank you so much. Paige is here. Hey, thank you for being here. That's a scrumptious, delicious, edible, tasty looking coffee mug, Russ. Yes, it is. I'm very happy to have my coffee mug. It's very fun. Hyatt Ives, he's a Houston native as well. Unable to stay with y'all this morning. Well, thank you for being here. And Gabriel says, good morning, gentlemen, fellow pirates, loving the community and conversation this morning. Mark LaCour, any tips for managing remote teams? That's a great one, Matt. Let's talk about that. Remote teams, what's your style? What's your ideas? What are your thoughts? What are your recommendations?
Yeah, that's something. I'm an ever evolving remote boss, but my company has been operating remotely for years. So that's, I'd say, the one thing that did not completely, turn my business upside down on March 16th was that we, it didn't really change the way we operate. We still had a remote team. So I'd say the biggest tips are, so number one, I have a weekly accountability meeting. I have a small team. I have a team of 3 in addition to myself. So I have a weekly accountability meeting with each of my employees every Friday, where we talk about just kind of recapping some projects that we worked on for the week, and establish goals to head into the following week. And then we assess the progress on those goals at the subsequent week's meeting. And then we also reserve just a few minutes during that meeting for kind of like admin questions, or anything like, scheduling or any administrative things that we need to go over, and what the WHAM, we call it a WHAM, weekly accountability meeting. And what the WHAM does is it reduces the need for some of the just random phone calls made back and forth during the week that can really interrupt your flow. If I know that I need to discuss this, this minor thing with Bethany or with Laura or with Judy, I'll write it down, and I have a little column in my notebook for their WHAM each week, and I'll just write it down there in my notes. And that way I know that, we're going to cover it later in the week. We don't have to take the time right now. Sometimes something pops into your head. So another thing I'd say is, when I call a member of my team, I always try to ask them if they have time to talk. Just because I'm the owner of the company doesn't mean that that I'm allowed to interrupt their flow if they're in the middle of something, if they're working on something. So that's something that I've tried to be really conscious of, especially recently when we're extremely busy with holiday projects and a lot of things on deadline. I always, I never take it for granted that, they have time to speak to me just because I'm the one calling them,
Right.
And so we try to encourage that back and forth, that we make, because it's just very easy to fall into a pattern of getting easily distracted and interrupted, especially when everybody's working from home. And so those are a couple things. And then we have weekly team calls, which are either on phone or on Zoom. And we have an agenda that we go through on that. We have points of collaboration, any projects that we're working on that we need help with or want to share ideas on. We have a time for that. We have goals and updates time where we, establish what, where we announce what our goals are, what we're working on, and give updates on that. That holds one another accountable when we kind of communicate it out to one another. We share wins every Friday. We share wins for the week. So we want to end the week on a positive note. And then every Friday, we also do gratitude. And that was something that I heard someone else did with his team that I thought was a great idea. And so each of us come up with something that we're grateful for on that Friday team call. And that, it could be something business-wise, it could be something personal, it could be, and it doesn't matter what it is, but it just
have a lot of gratitude. Yeah,
we all have to come up with something. And that has really brought us closer together than really anything else we could have discussed business-wise, is just sharing some of these points of gratitude. These are things that have really helped forge a tight-knit team amongst us.
Wow. Well, Matt, I know that there's a lot of things we could talk about and expand on, and I just have all the gratitude in the world for you being here today. So it's a great segue, because I know we're wrapping up, and I know you have a busy day ahead of you, but I just want to thank all of the pirates in the community. I want to also extend an invitation for everyone to join the Pirate Syndicate every single day, 7 a.m., and make sure that you have an opportunity to join us, listen in, and pick up a few nuggets of knowledge and some information that is going to be useful, beneficial, maybe inspirational. I don't know. A little gratitude, right? So how do you like to have people get a hold of you? How do you like to have people reach out to you, and where can they find you, Matt?
Sure. They can find me on LinkedIn, Matt Deutschman. Not a lot of Matt Deutschmans out there. And then our website is makethemlooktwice.com. And talked about that doubletakedefenders.com website also.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here, Matt. I really appreciate it. Stay safe and healthy, and we're going to get through this. Keep putting out the promotions, make sure that we have everything in place, and making people smile, because kindness is cool and smiles are free. So you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So you enjoy the day. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.